Hello everyone. So we have 4 pens tonight. We've got the Montblanc 149, we've got the Pilot Custom 823, we have the Lamy 2000, and we have the Pelikan M800 or the M805. These 4 pens are amazing. They're really well loved by anyone who's into fountain pens, and they're a little pricey, right? They're a little bit expensive, and the cheaper pens, or the sort of more value for money type pens, look at those 4 pens and they think, you know what, I reckon we can make one of those, kinda. We'll make it look a bit like it, we'll sell it, it's an homage. We'll sell them a lot less. We'll see if we can get a bit of the market because they look like those famous pens. So, how have they gone? Let's have a look tonight. I've got a few of them here. They're lots of fun. In fact, I love all of these homage pens, believe it or not. Some of them occasionally rival the real deal. So let's get into it. We're going to do some writing samples and show you the pens in question. I'm curious to see what you guys think about it. Let's get straight into it. Right, so here they are. What gorgeous pens they are, I'll tell you what. All right, so this is the first one. We've got the Montblanc cap there. This is the Montblanc 149. It needs no introduction, but it's going to get an introduction anyway. So this is that huge nib, right? 18 carat, piston fill at the end, cigar shape, and yeah, the quintessential fountain pen. Look at that thing. Yeah, you say the word fountain pen to someone, that's what they think of immediately, pretty much everyone. Right, what else? Pilot Custom 823, Japanese marvel. This one's a vacuum filler, so all that barrel there is chockers full of ink. The nib again is a gold one, so this is a 14 carat. Not as big as the Montblanc there, it's a size 6, but super duper smooth. Yeah, it's a very well known shape. It looks a bit like the Montblanc 146, the smaller brother of the Montblanc 149. But the thing that the Pilot does is have this triangular shaped clip there with the ball on the end. You see that time and time again. Next, we've got the Pelikan. So this is the Pelikan M805 Blue Dunes. I got this one in particular because I quite liked the homage pens, actually. I love this finish. I've got the green striped Pelikan M1000, but for this smaller pen, the M800, I really liked the blue, and I thought, yeah, this one's the one for me. So that one's that one, and then we've got the last one, which is the Lamy 2000. It's the Macrolon plastic, right? Plus the gold nib, beautiful pen, and oh my God, is it ever complicated. All the stuff that goes into this pen to make it the legend that it is. So yeah, those are the 4 pens, and it's about time. We'll just get into the homage pens and maybe do a writing sample on all of them. So let's go through them one by one, see what you guys reckon, eh? All right. Okay, so for starters, we've got the Montblanc 149. Let's have a look at the other ones. So look at that. Like the shape of the 149, such a classic. That is almost identical, isn't it? So the dimensions of this one are out by maybe 1 mil at most. This is a Wingsung. This is a Wingsung 630. Beautiful copy, and actually this one, you can get the really nice gold nib that goes with it as well, and that's what this one's got. If I just open it up here, we've got the, that's a 18 carat. It's got the heartbeat, and it's got the JF grind, which gives you a Naginata togi style line with variation depending on the angle of the writing. And what else we got on it? I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, so that's a gold nibbed clone. It's a clone, it's an homage pen. This is another Wingsung 630, but this one, as you can see, doesn't have the top and bottom rounded shape that you have with the Montblanc and the other Wingsung. But the nib in this one is the really good value one that it comes with. But this one, I had it as a stub, which I then ground myself to give this sort of oblique right-footed nib. I don't know if you can see there. Zoom in a bit, let's see how we go. Yeah, you can see there's a bit of a 45-degree cut, sort of from the left down to the right foot there. And that's because I'm a left-hander, and when I use the yeah, the stub, as a left-hander, it's quite hard to hold the pen with this angle, so you get the writing that way. And by having it at 45 degrees with the oblique right foot, it works a lot better for my handwriting. Anyway, that's the third one, and then the final one. Oh, and these are all piston fillers, of course. So Wingsung 630 has the piston filling mechanism. This one's a bit translucent. This one not so much, but you got the nice ink window where you can see the ink level. Yeah, so does the Montblanc right there. And then the last one, which is also very similar in dimensions. So let's put it up against the Montblanc again, just so we can compare them side by side. This is the Jinhao X159. Yeah. So this one isn't a piston filler. It's not exactly the same dimensions, but yeah, I mean, geez, it's the same looking pen, isn't it? But this one, the price is just absolutely bonkers low. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't come with a piston fill. It's got the what is it, a converter on the inside, right there. Yep, so standard converter. It's got no ring in there that seems to keep it sealed. Although I've got a chunk on my finger there. There's no ink window, of course, because it's a cartridge, and the nib is not gold. That's a steel nib. Standard Jinhao. I think this is a medium. Yeah, Jinhao medium. There we go. All right, let's do a writing sample for each of these. See what you think. See if any of these tickle your fancy, or if any of them you think is better value than any of the other ones. All right, so let's start off with the king, Montblanc 149. Here's the paper. Here's the pen. There's the zoom. And here are a few words. Start up here. What do you reckon? Yeah. That looks pretty good. All right, so what is it? It's the Montblanc 149. It has a B nib, broad, and it's the, you can't see much there, can you? No. All right, next line. I'll remember that. All right, this is the blue ringed octopus. And that's by Van Diemen. Van Diemen Ink from Tasmania, fellow Australian. And yes, some loops, so, you know, it's quite smooth, eh? Doesn't make much noise. And then the ups and downs. So a bit of force on the nib, not too much. It's quite resilient. And then if we go less force, still flows really well, doesn't it? Side by side. It's got a bit of a stub to it, doesn't it? It really does. All right, well, so that's the Montblanc. Oh, look at that nib. Oh my goodness. Captivating, isn't it? All right, what's the next one? Next one is going to be, let's go down in towards the, let's go the gold nibbed one. So this is the Wingsung 630. Wingsung 630 with a beautiful nib. It's not too bad actually, this nib, is it? Oh, it's got some condensation on the inside there. Has been a warm day today. Okie dokie. So let's bring the paper down. Yep, so Wingsung 630. Yep. This is also a B. 14 carat. Yeah, it's 14K. It's got the Jiangfeng, the JF heartbeat, doesn't it? Yep, and it's got the same ink, so the blue ringed octopus. Let's just go on the tip to show the variation you get from the angle of attack. So it's the blue. See, told you. Blue ringed. And then large again. There we go. Van Diemen. Yep. Van Diemen. And some loops. So. ups and downs. So this way, bit of force. Whoa, look at that. Some railroad in there. Take it slow. Wonderful, wonderful. And then fine on the tip, like that. Can we go any fatter? What do you reckon? Lower down. Yeah, and then side to side. It's quite broad, isn't it? On the tip, a fair bit narrower. Beautiful nib, hey. I love this pen. You know, that squeak that it does, I don't think of it as scratchiness. It's one of those pens that I think it sings, it vibrates, it just resonates a bit on the page. I actually prefer that to the silky smoothness of the Montblanc. I actually really, really, really love this pen. Tell you what, I actually use it more than the Montblanc, believe it or not. It's really nice. It sits in my favourite pen box, side by side with the Montblanc, but I usually pick this one out more than the Montblanc. Love it. Last one. Now this one, no, what am I saying? We've got two more. So this is the Wingsung 630, but with the oblique homemade cut, right? So this is the Wingsung 630. It's a oblique. Right foot. It has, oh blimey. Has to be Yamabudo, isn't it? Yamabudo. Everyone's favourite magenta ink. This is a Pilot. Yoroshizuku. That's the ink. It's a steel, yeah, doesn't matter, you know that. And then the loops, so some loops. Yep. Beautiful. And then if we do some up and down, quite broad, you push a bit more. It's quite scratchy, isn't it? Yeah, well, there's a very fine chunk of steel there that I've ground. It's very thin as well. Look at that. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's that one. And then finally, we have the, what is it? It's the Jinhao. Jinhao X159. We have M steel, and then we have, what is it? Aurora Australis. By Van Diemen. And we have some loops. Yep. Crazy, crazy. Finally, up and down. If we give it a bit of force, open it up a bit. Yeah, look at that. Lovely, less force. It's quite narrow. And side to side. Yeah, can't get much variation in that. But yeah, that width there from the tines opening up, yeah, it's really nice. Beautiful. All right. So this ink's great because you can probably see already. It's sort of a magenta, but then this green just comes out halfway through the sentence. It's got the most ridiculous sheen in it. It's just absolutely beautiful. The blue ringed octopus also has the most ridiculous sheen, but that one's a blue and red one, and we'll have a look at those later once they've dried properly. All right, so that's the Montblanc and its cronies. What I'm going to do now is put some pricing down, and we can see how it looks against the real deal. So let's go back to it here. We're going to have the Montblanc price. How much do you reckon? Well, tell you what, it's not the cheapest, In fact, it's the most expensive, really. Let's just face it, of the pens that I own. This one was secondhand. I would not pay what it is to get a new one of these. On the Montblanc website, as of today, it is 1,620 Australian dollars, which is a lot of money, really, for a plastic pen. Nice nib, piston filler, but, you know, you're paying for the name, you're paying for the history, you're paying for the funsies and the white cap on the top that just makes you feel all mushy and happy that you've got this thing that's supposed to make you feel all mushy and nice. I got to say, I feel kind of mushy and nice when I get this thing out. It is quite an enjoyable thing to use. Right, the Wingsung 630 is not $1,620, but it's more than most, because this gold nib on its own is just a bit over a couple $100. And actually, this one here with the B14K JF Heartbeat nib ends up being pretty much 300 Australian dollars. Yeah, so 300, what is that? 300 is one, a bit over a fifth, somewhere between a fifth and a sixth. I think it's one on 5.4. So you can have 5.4 of these pens for the one Montblanc. Yeah. All right, what about this other one? So the Steel Wingsung. Steel Wingsung, a lot less. This one is around the $40. It's 41 Aussie, and then that becomes one on, oh, what is it? It's about a 40th, isn't it? So it's about 1 on 40 of the Montblanc. And then finally the X159, and this is where it gets really, really ridiculous. This pen here, with the converter and all, costs $8. $8. Not $1,620, $8. And $8, what's that? It's 1/200th. 200th of the Montblanc. So yeah, you can have 200 of these, or one of these. What do you reckon? I reckon one of each is probably better. Maybe 5 and 1. Yeah, that's reasonable. Next pen. This one won't take as long. So this is the Pilot Custom 823, as we mentioned before. It is beautiful, as you can see. This pen also is beautiful, and actually when you look at the body of it, they're identical. They pretty much are. The caps are pretty much identical. It's just that one of them you can see through, the other one you can't. So yeah, this is an Asvine. It's an Asvine V126. And this one has a lemon nib in it, and it's a super juicy nib. It's just so juicy. It's amazing. In fact, one of my mates, I showed him a whole bunch of pens just a few days ago, and I tell you what, this one here was the one that just took everyone by surprise, because it is an absolute legend. But spoilers, let's just do what is it? Pilot Custom 823. Let's do that one first. Pilot Custom 823. Oh, better zoom there. Here we go. Yep, that's better. All right, so here it is. It's the right. It's an M. It's definitely a medium nib. Let's say 14 karat. Yeah. And the ink is Pilot Roshizuku. Murasaki Shikibu, I think it is. Let's see. So Murasaki. Here we go. All right, and some loops. Not that it opens up much anyway, but it's very smooth, very silent, very well behaved and demure, isn't it? I mean, ink doesn't flow particularly well if you try and, hang on, I'll tell you what, I always forget to open it up. Give it a bit more ink. Should do that, yeah. See if we can just get a drop more ink out there. Oof. Yeah, there we go. Let's try that. Yeah. Yeah. Flows nicely, doesn't it? All right, there it is. What about the Asvine? What about the Asvine? Close it up. Asvine, V126 back filler. Look at that thing. Look at that nib. What on earth is that nib? It's chunky. It is so chunky. You ready for it? Wait for it. Gets me every time. Look at that. Oh my God, look at that thing. Asvine V126. Amazing. I'm not going to say it's a B. I think it's a long knife, or it's a lemon nib. Yep. And we have the ink is Konpeki. Just going on to 2 lines because I tell you what, it's a bit broad, isn't it? Yeah, a bit broad. Konpeki by Pilot. Yoroshizuku. Yep. Some loops. Oh, so much ink. Oof. Gotta open it up. Yep. Open it up. Because it's going to run out pretty quickly, isn't it? Yep. Get the bubbles up. Prime a little bit. Oh, even more. Oh my goodness. The juice. So much juice. It's nuts. It's absolutely bonkers. All right. What's the damage? What do you reckon? Go back out. Here we are. Well, these days, the Pilot Custom 823, I'm going to use the use this pen to write the numbers down because it's a tad broader. That'll help. Pilot Custom 823, roughly $400 retail. You can get them for about $3, I think, but yeah, $400 retail. The Asvine, kind of roughly $40. So it's a 10 to 1. You get 10 of these gorgeous, juicy pens with, yeah, really nice body, transparent. Asvine makes some incredible pens, and the lemon nibs there are also absolutely phenomenal. So I tell you what, I absolutely thoroughly recommend getting one of these. Then again, I also thoroughly recommend getting one of these because the Pilot is also a gorgeous pen. And yeah, you just want to have one in your set because you need to have one in your set. Well, maybe not, but yeah, I do. I love it. It's really nice. Next pen. Okay, so Pelikan M805. It's pretty much the same as a Pelikan M800. Only difference is this one has the white gold there, whereas the other one has the yellow two-tone. So yeah, the 5 on the end of the number means it's just a white gold, single silver looking one. So yeah. The body on this one is the blue dunes, so it's yeah, I mean, what is there to say? It's just this beautiful acrylic that just has that beautiful depth to it. This nice blue that you see in these other two as well. So here we are, brings the segue into these other 2 pens. So they're both ADMOK M800s. This is the Galaxy finish, so you can see it's got this sort of nice shimmer in it, very much the same. I mean, it's not exactly the same as the Pelikan, but similar. It's an homage, as they say. The other one is the same, but this one's kind of a matte finish. Looks really nice in photos, but actually it's quite dead. It's not the same, yeah. The difference between these, though, the nibs. Pelikan nib. Zoom in. So many people will tell you, including the same buddy that I told you about who I had the Asvine pen with the other day. So this is his other favourite pen nib. Yeah, I can understand. And loads of people actually love the 805, the M805. I did a video about the difference between the 1000 and the 805s, and I still don't get it. I still prefer the 1000, but you know, each their own. This one's a double broad, so really it has a lot going for it. And then these other two, so this one has a Bock nib. So the Bock nib or the Schmidt nib, you get to choose with these ones. So they give you quite a few options when you buy the ADMOK pens. The ADMOK M800 with the Schmidt and the ADMOK M800 with the Bock. So there we are. That gold nib there is the Schmidt and this one here is the Bock. That one there, if you can see my finger. Yes, you can. Wonderful. And the inks, well, glad you asked. They're all different this time. Let's do a bit of a demo, shall we? What do you reckon? Tell you what, let's not waste paper. Just put it on the bottom of the other sheet that we just did with the Asvine. Asvine? I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it. Who knows? Yeah, let's not be cheeky though. Let's just call it the Asvine. That'll work. This isn't the Asvine though. This is the Pelikan, isn't it? It is. It really is. I'll give yourself some more room there. You put it here. Yeah, okay. So Pelikan. Whoop. Hello. Yeah, better. Pelikan. M805. It's a double B. Bubba. Double broad. And it has a 18 karat white gold. Yeah, can you read that? Sort of, kind of. Yeah, there it is. The ink is, it's the same as all these other ones that I've had in my main collection there. It's the blue ringed octopus again. So blue ringed octopus. Yep, by Van Diemen. Still by Van Diemen. Yep. And the loops look nice. It's a fluid pen. It's one of the greats. So many people say it's the best nib in the world. That's pretty close, I've got to say. It's really nice, isn't it? Okay, what about the opening it up? Can we get a bit of extra squish on the tines? The 800 you probably can. The 1000, boy, I wish I hadn't. I've bent mine a little bit. But yeah, this one, it's a lot stiffer actually, this nib, isn't it? It really is. A bit thinner by not pushing too hard. And then the cross strokes. Cross strokes look pretty good, don't they? Yeah, very nice. And of course, the best thing of these nibs though, it's just that beautiful pattern. Look at that art. My God, look at that thing. Can we zoom in more? Yeah, we can. Look at it. Man, look at it. Look at that nib, hey? Look at that artwork on there. So nice. Beautiful. Yeah, that's going to be the thumbnail. You can be sure of it. All right, going back out again. Come on, it's not the way. Oi. That's better. All right, so that's the Pelikan. Now the other ones. What do we got? Starting off with the Schmidt, I would say. Let's do that. So the Schmidt. Zoom in a bit more. Yeah. 3.2? No, 5. 5. Here we go. Okie dokie. So, ADMOK. God, smooth, isn't it? Does well. ADMOK M800. It's also a B. It's a Schmidt. And what's the ink? Cool. That looks to me like it's diamine. And I think it's Upon a Star. Yeah, really deep blue. Some lighter blue and then some green shimmer. Oh, yeah, it's a legend. But that dark ink just looks absolutely magical. And then you see the shimmer and then you see the sheen and you just think, oh man, that's a bit cheeky. He's done really well with that ink. Yeah, love it. Absolutely love it. Loops, yeah, do some loops. No pressure at all there. Yep, and just a few. Push on this, and then some ups and downs, a bit of extra force. Oof, yeah, Pretty good. Side to side. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Last but not least, what's this last one? Squeeze it in. Yeah, squeeze it in. Let's do it. Let's do it. So this one's also an ADMOK M805. ADMOK. M800, sorry. 805's a Pelikan thing. But the ink on this one, can anyone pick it? Never used it before for a show. Base date. Blue. What terror. Ha ha ha. Yes, you can get that on anything and it does not like coming off, including porcelain when you try and rinse the ink down the sink. Yeah, that can take a while to clean up, but that's okay. It's still just ink. And live a little, guys. It's beautiful colour, actually, isn't it? And it's just so uniform. I actually think this base date blue is one of the nicest blues. And the best thing about it is, actually, there's two really amazing things. One, the colour of it. Secondly, there's no variation in the colour. You can layer it and it's always the same. It doesn't get darker. And then the other thing that's really nice about it is it's permanent. So yeah, just because you can't get it off anything, it also means you can't get it off the paper, which is good. So you get a bit of water, the ink just stays there. It's lovely. All right. Okie dokie. So, base date blue, noodlers. Smooth, isn't it? And the nib, it's a BOK. It's BOK B. Simple. Loops. Yep. And then finally, some width off this nib. Yep. There we go. How much money, I hear you ask? How much money? How much money? Too much? Yeah, probably. How much though? Come on, Simon, be honest. Well, yeah. Pelikans are not cheap. They absolutely are not. And the Blue Dunes, that's a bit of a bonus. And the double broad, well, yes, also that's a bit of a bonus. So, yeah, well, okay, fair enough. $800. $800. $800-ish. $800. Yeah, not cheap. All right, what about the ADMOKs? What about the ADMOKs? How much? Well, again, that depends on the nibs. The M800 with the... good question. Hang on, I've got to remind myself. Hang on a tick. Yeah, right. So the Schmidt one, the Schmidt's about $50. Yep, so that's about $50 for the Schmidt. But then the BOK, now that's trickier, and that's actually selling for a bit more these days. And that one, $64, $74, somewhere around there. Let's just call it 64. So $64. That's what? That's a 12th. That's a 12th of the Pelikan. Yep, so it's a 12th here. At $50 for the Schmidt, $50, that is, yeah, it's a 16th, isn't it? Yeah, 1 on 16. Right, so $800 for the Pelikan, and then 50 through to 64 for the two different nib options in the Schmidt. In the ADMOK. Where's the lid gone? There it is. That is the one. That's the Pelikan. Beautiful bird. Okay, next pen. Nibs, don't they? Yes, they do. But you know what? The Lamy 2000 nib is a special nib. And one of the funny things about the Lamys is that the Lamy nib can go in any Lamy pen except for the Lamy 2000. So the nib that they've put in this pen goes in every single other Lamy pen except the one that it's copying. It's kind of ironic, I think. Anyway, this is the nib that it came with, right? This one here. And then this one here I put in myself. So that one's actually a Lamy nib. No, it's not. Sorry. I thought it was, but no. This is also a Chinese copy of a Lamy nib. And I've turned it into an oblique as well because I quite like having this as an oblique right foot pen. It's pretty scratchy and horrible otherwise, so with those Lamy nibs that you can get aftermarket, or the copy of them, you can turn them into quite interesting pens, and I thought I'd turn this one into something a bit unusual. So, let's compare them. How do they write? Well, let's see. Start out with the Lamy. The real deal. Here it comes. There we are. All right, so Lamy 2000. Now, for those of you who have watched my videos in the past, you might realize that suddenly, all of a sudden, I can use this Lamy 2000 nib and not embarrass myself. Now, you might know that the writing surface of Lamy 2000 is a bit, I guess, it's a bit particular. It wants you to hold the pen in a particular way. It's probably the right way, but I'm a left-hander and therefore it's the wrong way. I'm sinister after all, as the lefties all are. All right, so it's a Lamy 2000. It's a broad. It's the 818 carat white, and it has the ink, which is what is that one? It's the same as all the other ones. A blue ringed octopus, blue ringed octopus. Oh, it's nice now, isn't it? Look at that. It really is. It suits my handwriting heaps now. This is all set by Van Diemen. Van Diemen. Yep, and yeah, some loops. Time for some loops. Oops. Squeak. Yeah, squeak, squeak. Loads of squeakies. Yeah, love it. All right. Line widths. Line widths. Up and down. Side to side. Yeah. Very nice, isn't it? Really like that pen now. What about the others? The Pretenders. Oh, hang on. Listen for it. Oh, man. Got to do it again. Listen, listen. Right up against the microphone. Yeah, that's the stuff in it. That's the stuff. Oh, and look. The clip. So you can do that. And you know what? These guys, check it out. You can do it too. They're not as good. You can actually push it down and it just goes straight in. You can't do that with this one. Try doing that. It doesn't go down at all. It only tilts. So not quite the same, but tell you what, points for trying, because really, yeah, that's over and above, especially when you find out what the price is. But yeah, let's do some writing. So this is as received. What's it called? I hear you ask. What is it? It's not a Lamy 2000. So exclamation mark. Nope, this is called a Jinhao. Ugh, scratchy, isn't it? Jinhao. Yeah, Jinhao. Jinhao. Frosted 80. Frosted 80. Amairo. So Amairo ink. And that's by Pilot Iroshizuku. Yep. It's the lighter of the blues by the Iroshizuku line. And I tell you what, probably should have gone to Konpeki on this one because that's just too light. It's not fat enough, is it? No. This is an F, yeah? It's an F nib. F nib. I'm not an F nib type of person. Anything else to say about it? Yeah, not much. Nah, just some loops. And yeah, awful. Go away. Don't like you. Yeah, no, I'm not going to throw that one. That's a good one. That's the Lamy 2000. But this one, now, different. Yeah, oblique. Oblique. Yeah, love the obliques. Still a Jinhao Frosted 80. So I'll write that down again. If the ink gets there. Yep. Jin. Oi. There we are. Jinhao. Let's do it again. Jinhao. Frosted. You know what? It's Konpeki, isn't it? Yeah. It's Konpeki. Konpeki. Might as well write it down. Konpeki by Pilot Iroshizuku. Pilot Iroshizuku. Correct. It was a 1.1 stub that has become a oblique foot, like so, and then loops also like so. The loops, and then don't know why I do that, but I enjoy doing it, so I do it. There, wonderful. And then the width, so on the 45-degree slant, push a bit harder. Different angle. Oh, it's broader than that normally. Yeah, there we are. It's better. Yep. Side to side. It's pretty stubby in it. Very stubby. Stub. Yeah, that's right. Donald Trump one, didn't he? Stubby. That's, yeah. Anyway. All jokes aside. Anyway, where are we? Pens. Dollars. How many? How many bucks? Any idea? Well, the Lamy 2000, these days actually no, not these days. It's a retail of 400. They're not 400, it's probably closer to 3 typically, but $400 is the retail. The Jinhao, both of them, not 400, $8 again. $8, $8. $8. And 8 divided, 8 on 400 is 1/50th, isn't it? Yeah, it's 1 on 50. 1 on 50. So you can have 50 of these for 1 of these. But you know what? Again, I think maybe, a couple of these. You don't really need 50. You really don't. 1 of these, maybe more actually, I reckon. Because I tell you what, now that it's writing properly, it's an absolute beast of a pen. It's like it's just a beast. It's the right size. It's just like regular pens, right? It caps nicely. It's a bit demure. It's inconspicuous. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous pen. Well, that's it. So, should we round it up? What do you reckon? Yeah, well, so this is 1/50th. What do we have before that? We had a 12th and a 16th for the Pelikan. Yeah. 1 on 50 for the Schmidt. We had a 10th for the Pilot, Custom 823. And then going back to the Montblanc, yeah, well, that's when it was just bonkers, wasn't it? We had the $1,620 for the legit Montblanc OG pen, 149, sorry. 1620 versus $8 for the Jinhao X159, so a 200th. And that, my friends, is the ratio of doom. 200 pens to 1. Yeah, amazing. All right, I'm tired. Let's go to bed. Bye, everyone.